Hello, I am Garrett Godfrey, and welcome to the Crowdfunding Christian Music Podcast, where I'm working to connect artists with fans and fans with artists so that you can find and fund the music you love. This is episode 49, recorded Thursday, May 5th, 2016. Think of me as both your tour guide and filter as we look at some current campaigns by Anthony Quails, J. Luminous, Staci Frenes, Olivia Pothoff, Joseph Davey, and We Are Leo. I hope you enjoy the show, find something you can connect with and fund. Before we get into the campaigns, I just want to remind you that we've got the timestamps for all the different campaigns in the show notes. So, on the campaigns, first up tonight is Anthony Quails, a singer-songwriter out of Chickamauga, Georgia, with a Kickstarter campaign for an Americana country album with a twist. Let's hear more about his project and the Nehemiah Foundation for Cultural Renewal. And I'm including their link in the show notes. You really ought to check them out. They're all about supporting Christian artists and reaching the lost with the beauty of the gospel. Here's the video about the album Before the Bright Lights by Anthony Quails.
The music I write feels very old, much older than I am. I don't know how that works, but I've learned not to fight it. I've learned to listen for the stories and things. And once you start listening for them, they're everywhere. Several years ago, I decided to give my music a shot and contacted several record labels. Of those 3 contacted me back, one was a scam. One said, "We love what you're doing, but we have no idea what we could do with you." And the last, a Christian label, said, "You're too mellow for what we're looking for in a new artist." For years, I struggled with creating music that serves the church. At times, it felt like a lot of red tape, auditions, and ultimately discouragement. So often, the church as a whole is drawn to more established artists while failing to support the ones that are part of their own body. Standing at a crossroads in 2011, I prayed, "God, whatever you want from me, wherever you send me, I'll go." So I started writing and singing songs outside the church and began performing at local bars where I participated in writers' nights with the local Songwriters Association. Back when I was submitting my music to those record labels, I was contacted by an organization called the Nehemiah Foundation for Cultural Renewal. They had offered to record my album for free with no strings attached. Playing at an open mic event, I ran into musicians that I recognized from the organization. So I asked them about the Nehemiah Foundation, and they were like,
"Yeah, it's the real deal." The Nehemiah Foundation had just sponsored one of my band's projects, and I was volunteering for them.
They never said, "We're only going to work with you if you sound like this." They were always dedicated to my vision, no matter what, even if it wasn't their preference. They wanted what I wanted. All of a sudden, I wasn't the only person who wanted me to succeed in this. It really felt like an extended family. James Smith of Clubman Studio joined forces with us, and I got to record in one of the most comfortable, beautiful sounding studios I could have ever asked for. Between the Nehemiah Foundation and Clubman Studio, I had everything I needed. The album took shape almost on its own. It really reminds me of radio theater. I love finding stories and discovering the narrative behind the things we overlook or take for granted. Lastly, thank you, anyone who's ever been supportive of me and my music. I want to thank you so much for considering this project. It means the world to me, and I couldn't do it without you. Thanks.
So he's got several song demos on his campaign page, and a couple are actually pretty well finished. I'm going to play one of his tracks. It's called When There's a Mountain, and that's one of the ones he's got a SoundCloud link for, and just want to give you a flavor for what his music sounds like.
When there's a mountain standing in the way, you can face it or choose to walk away. In that moment you will find an answer waiting every time. Just tunnel through on to the other side. Every single dime spent before
That was When There's a Mountain by Anthony Quails. Now, his campaign goal for this campaign is $11,000. And he's already got 37 backers so far. And that's brought him up to almost $3,100. But he still needs another $8,000 or so in the next 9 days. This campaign closes May 15th. And Kickstarter is all or nothing. So if he reaches his $11,000 goal, then all the folks that have pledged will be charged, and it'll happen. If he doesn't reach $11,000 and the campaign closes, no one gets charged, no money changes hands, and he walks away without any money. So definitely want to act on this fast if you're thinking about it. For $10, you get a digital copy of the album. For $25, you get a CD and a download. For $35, that CD is signed. And then you can get other rewards like coffee mugs, your name in the credits, songwriter sessions, house shows, and an original song. So check it out, but act fast. Next up is Jay Luminous, a rapper out of Colorado Springs, Colorado, with a Kickstarter campaign for his first 7-track mixtape to be titled Realized. Let's hear about his project and some of what his music sounds like. Here's Jay Luminous.
Hey everybody, this is Jay Luminous, or as many, probably all of you know me as, Drew. I appreciate you taking just a few minutes of your time to check out this video. Now, about 5 years ago, I started to rap, and I started to see some success with that, when the Lord actually led me away from doing that, and instead, what I spent my time doing was studying the Word of God, and then taking the truths that I had learned and teaching them to other people. Now, at the time, myself and many others included wondered, why would God give me a gift that had such a powerful influence in people's life just to tell me to hang it up and not use it again? But it wasn't until about a year ago that he actually gave me insight as to why he did this. And really what it all boils down to is discipleship. See, at the time that I was starting to have success with music, I was just a boy in my faith. And quite frankly, the platform that I was being given at that time would have ruined me. And so the Lord had to get me out of that. And then he took me through a 4-year process of changing me and bringing me from being a boy in my faith to becoming a man. And now, in 2016, he's given me the green light to move forward with something that he's placed in my heart years ago. Now, my heart has always been to disciple people and see people's lives changed by the same truths found in the Word of God that so deeply changed mine. And I believe that this music is just simply a tool to make that happen. Not only through the lyrics, but also through the platform that's going to be given to me. Now, unfortunately, things like this cost money. And right now, I'm only about a third of the way funded. My wife and I have invested $500 of our own money, but we're still $975 short of making this project come to life. And so that's where I'm coming to you guys asking for help. If you wonder how the money's going to be broken down, where's it going to go, and how's it going to be spent, if you look below, I've included a really detailed list as to where every dollar's going to go. So hopefully that'll make you guys feel better. Anything you give is very much appreciated. And if you'll notice, if you give $5 or more, you guys will be linked into my bi-weekly video blog, which outside of the music, honestly, it's probably the thing that I'm most excited about. See, I have a lot more that I really want to tell you, but I'm not going to include it in this video. I want to share with you my vision. I want to share with you this dream that God's placed in my heart, how I've gotten to where I'm at, some of the journeys that I've been on, the challenges that I've faced. And if you get linked into this, you'll hear all about it. You'll also get an inside view of what it looks like to be in here, recording, writing, and really putting this project together. So again, guys, thank you so much. If you stick around for just a few minutes, I've attached my song, my introduction song to this mixtape at the end of this video. I hope you enjoy it. Comment, let me know what you think. God bless.
All right, man. What do I got? If I never had a call, I'm blocked. Start to run, but I fall. Cry from the picture in my head, the dream I had, hanging on the wall. Talent can carry you till they just might let go. And the vision you had might be coming a little bit cold, but I knew what I was doing. I just knew what I could do. That I had to get in rapping with it. I could go push through, but you told me to wait, but I knew that I could just stop. I can write and rap, and you're giving me a gift that a lot of other people don't got. So I never slowed down, but I kept on going. Oh God, what was I doing? I took a gift that you gave, and I brought it all to ruin. I never knew doing something good could be bad. I should've just kept my mind on your word instead of my writing pad. Okay, let me talk, here comes the truth. I never made those mistakes, cause I did what God said to do for me. And by grace, he kept me right where I stayed. Now I can truly enjoy the beautiful gift that he gave. Okay, now what do you do if you're giving a gift into something that you've never had? And making it happen in something you want when not personally part of his plan.
So his goal for this campaign was $975. He's already got 22 backers that have pledged almost $1,100. So he's exceeded his goal, and he still has another week and a half to go. This campaign closes May 18th. For $15, you get a digital version of the mixtape a week early. For $25, you get a CD and a download, both a week early. And then there's also the option for $5 for the bi-weekly video updates. So be sure to check that out. Next up is Staci Frenes. And Staci, if you're watching this, I just got to say, I am sorry, because I saw 3 different ways to pronounce your name. One was Frenes, one was Frene, and the other was Frenes, like tennis. So I'm sure at least 2 of those were wrong. Maybe all 3 of them are. But Staci is an acoustic folk pop artist out of Brentwood, California, with a Kickstarter campaign for her next album to be titled To Unpathed Waters, Undreamed Shores. Let's hear more about it on her video.
We move through life in a forward motion, the way a river flows. It curves and bends, slows down and speeds up in ways we can't predict or control. Moving forward means we're constantly leaving something behind, and that's painful. But it also means we're encountering new landscapes, opportunities, glimpses of beauty, deeper understanding of truth. I've been writing songs lately about the tension that exists between constantly having to let go of some things in order to move into what's unfolding in front of us. Whether it's a calm stretch of rest or a wild, turbulent season of life, I'm learning that we can trust that God is with us and working good in us through all of it. It's been 4 years since my last album, and I am ready to make a new one. The songs are all written and in their bare bones acoustic stage, and now it's time to go into the studio and flesh them out with arrangements and instrumentation that will help tell their stories. I'll be working with my longtime producer and friend, Nate Sabin, and some of the most talented musicians I know.
Now, she's got her earlier albums over at Bandcamp, so I actually want to play a clip of one of her songs, Nobody Loves Me Like You, from her 2012 release, Everything You Love Comes Alive. So this is the track, Nobody Loves Me Like You.
You were there when my days began. You gave me breath from the dust, for me with your hand. My heart beat in time with yours. Flesh and bone, I am yours alone. And nobody loves me like you. No one.
Now, her campaign goal is $15,000, and she's over 20% there, with 39 backers pledging over $3,400, and she still has 3 weeks to go. This campaign closes May 27th. For $5, you get 5 acoustic demos. For $15, you get an early download of the album and the 5 acoustic demos. For $25, you get a signed CD and the early downloads. And then there are more rewards, including t-shirts, a signed copy of her book Flourish, necklaces, and more. So be sure to check it out. Next up is Olivia Pothoff, a soulful worship leader and singer out of Newberg, Oregon, with an Indiegogo campaign for an album about gratitude, communion, redemption, and the power of a home team. Let's hear more about it.
Hi, I'm Olivia Pothoff. Thanks for taking a few minutes to hear my story of music. I was 3 years old when I first started singing, and I just remember at an early age being able to hear songs and go figure them out on the piano. I grew up in a really musical family, the kind that sings at restaurants in four-part harmony, and I just grew up with a deep appreciation for music, and this place, just sitting down at the piano and singing, became a second home to me. It's always been the place where I felt most fully alive, fully myself, and it's just grown to be a sacred space for me. As a sixth grader, I entered a talent show, and I was the 25th act out of 25 acts, and I had to wait for all other 24 acts to go before me, and every song and act I got more nervous and more sweaty, and by the time it was my turn, I went up to the piano and started to sing and play. And I remember as I did, the students got up out of their chairs and came around the piano, and by the end of my performance, I couldn't even see the audience. I just saw their faces all around the piano, and it was the first time in my life where I realized the power of music, and the first time in my life where I really felt that I was doing what I was made to do. I used to run track and field, and the 4x400 meter relay is the last event of the meet. And a lot of the times, the meet will come down to this one race. And so by then, usually all the other events have gotten over, and all the team members are there in the infield. And I remember my coaches strategically placing other members that were done running around the inside of the track because they knew we were going to get tired around that terrible 400 meters. And one of my favorite memories was of running that, and about halfway through where I felt like I wanted to die, just people yelling in my face, "Olivia, you've got this. You can do this. Don't give up. You're almost there." And that really has been what has inspired this whole album for me, because we have such an amazing community and such an incredible group of people that over these last 8 years have been those people that have brought us meals, that have called, have texted at times when life was really hard and when I wanted to give up, and they have just said, "Keep going, you're almost there." And it's really reminded me to honor the whole race and not just the finish line of life. And so this album is a tribute to those people who have been my home team and who have inspired me to keep going.
When I'm broken, when I'm weary, when I'm tired, when the clouds roll and it feels like there's no sun, when I realize with you I am alive, I sing, I sing, I sing, I sing a song, oh, just to know you and be known.
Thanks for taking time to listen, and if you'd like to support the making of this new album project, please check out the donor awards below. Thanks.
Now, her campaign goal for this is $10,000, and so far she's got 30 backers, pledging over $1,800, with 3 weeks still to go. This campaign closes May 27th, and it's flexible funding, which means that even if she doesn't reach her complete goal, unlike Kickstarter, which can be all or nothing, flexible funding means that whatever is pledged, she'll be able to collect. So for $15, you get an early download of the album. For $20, you get a signed CD, and then there are other reward levels available, including hand-drawn prints of lyrics, t-shirts, mason jar jugs, and more. So be sure to check it out. Next up is Joseph Davey from the band Attalus out of Raleigh, North Carolina, with an Indiegogo campaign for a worship album. Now, if you know the band Attalus, they're more of a rockin' band. Let's listen to a little bit of their stuff.
don't heed the song of the sirens, you're gonna wind up dead. They're just devils in disguise, hell-sick mirage of paradise. Don't lift your eyes to the sirens, one look can take your life.
But they put out an album a little while ago called Gospel Hymns Volume 1, and that's actually the music that Joseph is featuring on his campaign page for this project. But where that was a band effort, this will be a solo project. But let's take a listen to that for a better flavor for what this project will sound like.
Blessed joy that meets us here when we see the Savior's face. Once again we stand amazed. Amazing grace, you saved our wretched souls. Upon these broken instruments, you wrote a song that won't grow old. An amazing love, you set our hearts in tune. And so we sing only for you. An amazing grace, you saved our wretched souls.
Now, his campaign goal for this was only $500, and he's already got 42 backers pledging over almost $1,300, with another 3 weeks still left. So this campaign closes May 26th. For a $10 donation, $5 goes to fund the album, $5 will be set aside for local and international missionaries, and everyone who gives $10 or more will receive the CD when the album is finished. I've also included the Bandcamp page for the band, where they've got some of their music available, and their streaming page for the Gospel Hymns Project. So if you like that, they've got a page where you can stream that whole album. So that'll be in the show notes as well. Be sure to check it out. Next up are We Are Leo out of Kenosha, Wisconsin, with a Kickstarter campaign for a new album to be titled The Rush and the Roar. Thanks go out to the Rock and the Hard Place podcast, Indie Vision Music, and Jesus Wired for highlighting this campaign. Let's hear more about it from their campaign video.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's We Are Leo, and we're heading back into the studio
to record our brand new album, The Rush and the Roar.
And we need your help with our Kickstarter.
The Rush and the Roar is sound and motion, and for me, it's about seeing the goodness of God in all of creation, and it's about the journey that He's taking us on. It's the feeling of an airplane taking off and that rush. It's the feeling of surfing on the West Coast. It's the feeling of turning up the music in your car, rolling the windows down and feeling that rush and roar. This new project means a lot to me because it's the chance to keep sharing the music that we've been given and the hope that I've found.
Hey, it's Josh. I play drums for the band, and I'm super excited about being part of this. This is the first record I've ever recorded, and I'm stoked about what's being created.
There are a lot of costs and fees involved in making a record, so that's why we're asking for your help.
Hi, I'm John. I play lead guitar. One thing I noticed about this album is just the whole vibe of it. Yeah, I just feel like it has a really exciting vibe, but at the same time has an attitude as well. And I think for the programming side of things, Doug and David have taken it above and beyond, and it's some of the best I've heard, and it makes me really excited to be a part of it.
I'm so excited about our brand new song. It's called The Way That I Feel Now, and we're giving it away for an immediate download when you guys support our Kickstarter. We have a bunch of special edition gear that is only available to those who support our Kickstarter. So make sure to check out all the reward tiers for all the good stuff.
Hey guys, this is Doug. I play guitar and keys and programming in the band. I'm really excited about this record. I think it's something that's very unique, especially for Christian music. It's something that people really need to hear.
For us, we're in this band because we want to make the world a better place, and particularly for our fans. We want to make music that inspires, we want to make music that brings hope, and of course starts dance parties. Thanks to all our fans for supporting our music, for being part of what we're doing. We just want to thank you for helping us reach our goal.
Okay, so I want to play a clip from their song Supernova to get a good flavor for what they sound like. So here you go. This is We Are Leo, Supernova, Sunrise.
'Cause I've been praying for a change for such a long, long time. I take a breath and step outside to leave the past behind. If I can just hold on a little longer. If I can just hold on. Hello, a supernova sunrise. Hello, where have you been all my life? I gotta wake up and breathe again. Oh, restart my heart and make it beat again.
So their campaign goal for this campaign was $12,500. They've already got 35 backers, pledging almost $2,200, with over 3 weeks still to go. This campaign closes May 29th, and I'll include a link in the show notes where you can get an earlier album of theirs free over at their Bandcamp page, so be sure to check it out. Now, here's a teaser and a homework assignment for you. In the next couple of weeks, I'll be covering campaigns by About a Mile, Chris Folson, Kelly White, Heather Farmer, Scott Wesley Brown, Mike Ferris, and Gilia Taylor. Your homework over the next week is to check out Mike Ferris. I'm including a link in the show notes to a short YouTube documentary about him. Totally worth watching. That's it for this episode, but I'd like to ask you to do something beyond the homework assignment. If this is your first time watching or listening, please subscribe. Over iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube, wherever you found it, you can subscribe. And if you've been with me on this podcast for a while, thank you. Think of someone else you know that might get into it. Tell them about it. If you back any of the campaigns, or even if you just want to help them spread the word, be sure to tweet about it, post it on Facebook, mention it to your friends in real life, spread the word. And if you want to send me feedback, head over to the Facebook page for the podcast, like it, and message me. Follow at the other CCM on Twitter and shoot me a tweet. Or you can email me directly, feedback@crowdfundingchristianmusic.com. And if you like the theme song at the beginning and the end of the show, it's Hypostatic Union by the X Structure out of South Africa. All their music is Name Your Price over at Bandcamp right now, so be sure to check them out. And I guess somebody actually noticed that I left bloopers in at the end of last week's episode. So if you missed that, check out episode 48. It's not always done perfectly the first time through. A lot of stuff's been left on the cutting room floor. Anyway, keep coming back. There will be lots more campaigns to cover. I'm Garrett Godfrey, and I'll see you again soon. Bye. First up tonight is Anthony Quails, a singer-songwriter out of Chickamauga, Georgia. Don't know why that was tricky. Let's try that again. So before we get into the campaigns, I just want to remind you that we've got the timestamps for all these different campaigns in the show notes. Oh, and I did that with the Anthony Quails in the background. Let me try that again. And 3 weeks still to go. This campaign closes May 29th. That's not right. It's May 27th. Hold on. Let's try that again.